Hi, I'm Chris with McIlwain Mobility Solutions. Today, we're proud to show you the Lyft Self-Transfer System. It allows someone to be able to transfer themselves from a bed to a chair or vice versa, which really will allow someone to master their independence so they don't need the help of a caregiver. Although you can see that this unit has controls on it all over the place that allows a caregiver to help as well. So it can be used in two systems. Like right now we have it installed in an portable overhead lift system. You could have it just on your track system in your home and would allow you to actually transfer yourself from any place to another place where you need to go from either a seated to seated position or a seated to laying down position. It's like a big hand that envelopes the body and allows someone to put it on and off by themselves without having the use of slings or other unnecessary equipment. So some of the control features of the Lyft is you can see that it has buttons on the side here that can allow you to go up or down or side to side, left to right. So that allows a caregiver, this is kind of like a caregiver control panel. And you can see that the same controls are over here as well. So you can move left, right, and then up and down. Right now, the unit is in a seated mode. And if I hit this button right here to where it goes, it shows a person laying down here in the yellow icon. So if you just hit that, then the unit will start going into a position. That way, if somebody's laying down, that's how they're gonna pick themselves up. These are like the fingers of your hands. And they close. And then once they're in the fully closed position, which you can tell they're in the fully closed position if you come and look at these red dots on these rotating objects. And once the red meets the red, that means that it's in fully locked position. And at that point in time, you can transfer yourself either laying down or seated at that point in time. But this is also available to be done by the individual themselves. We're going to open it back up. And I am just turning this around so you can see the controls for the individual that's doing it. We have an emergency stop button. So if anything's going awry, you can always stop it. Once again, you have your hoist motor controls. So you have your left, right, up and down. And then right now you can open or close these hands that cup the back of the body and then underneath between the buttocks and the knee caps. And then you can go from seated to laying down position. So it makes it really easy for the patient to actually do that themselves. Once you get used to where you need to park your chair in regards to your bed and your ceiling track system, I can bring the unit back over to me, get it positioned correctly, and that's pretty close. We can do any other fine adjustments with our joysticks up here. And then my Velcro, maybe I can find it a little easier this time. Yep, a lot easier. Then we're going to bring the lift down again. And you'll notice it kind of squeezes on you, so you might have to adjust a little bit on where those hands are going. But like I said, you want this to kind of come at the back of your knee. So we're going to lower this down, and as we get down to the seat level, I'm going to start to close the fingers and then lower and close. And then you can just kind of rearrange yourself because it's going to move your pants or whatever things you have on your body. But now that I'm in this position, my red dots are fully closed and I can see the front too. And if you have a little slack up here on this, the lifting strap, you know it's all the way down and your closed motor isn't trying to make any more noise. So at that point in time, I can lift myself up. And then I can lower myself down into the bed. And then I can lower myself into the laying position. And then when you notice I have all the weight off the strap, at that point in time, I can open up the hands all the way. And then that pulls it away from me. And then once again, after I lose track of being able to use those controls, I go back to my remote and I continue to move this out of my way. And then at that point in time, I can go to sleep or watch TV because I don't have it hanging over me. And then to transfer out of the bed, I'm gonna bring it back over to me. And then it's not in the fully lying down position. With this particular motor, you can't have it on the actual charge station, otherwise it stops lifting up and down. So as you're bringing it down to you, now that I'm laying down, you want it in kind of the fully laying down position. Once again, you'll notice that this is right below my knees. And I have this down. And now I'm going to put the remote back here on the side and start utilizing the controls of the uplift itself. So what we're going to do, we're going to come down and then we're going to start closing the device. So now that we have it on, we just want to double check that our red dots are aligned everywhere, and we are. And at that point in time, you can adjust yourself for any kind of comfort. And have the unit put me in the seated position to get ready to transfer back over into the chair. And you can see my chair is a little farther behind me than I need it. So I'll grab the joystick. That way I can move the chair forward to me. And now to open it, I start opening. I'm opening the hands now, and I open them till they're completely free of me, till the motor stops making noise. And then at that point in time, I can lift the unit up off me, readjust myself in my seat, and then I can take the hand pendant again and move the hoist away from me. Here's some accessories that go along with it. If you have kind of an odd place where you're having possibly trouble getting the fingers to get under you, then you can stick these kind of under your legs, and it gives a little guidance. If you have, a rough surface that you're trying to get past, it can help you get the lift on and off your leg. So you might have noticed that the uplift doesn't naturally have head support. However, it does have head support. It's another piece of the puzzle here. This allows you to take this bar, I'm going to put one down, and then you can snap those in place there, and then come to the other side, and there's more pins with these little cups on there, so you don't have to use any kind of fasteners or tools. And then you take that, you align the holes up on this post, and then push them in like that. And now at that point in time, you can see that you can actually provide head support. This is probably only going to be used if in a caregiver situation. This will allow the caregiver to operate it easily, and then while the patient has full support of their head when they're getting raised into the seated position. Because a lot of times that's the only time they need to have their head supported is when they're going from laying down to sitting up. Uplift is changing the way people move at home. It's a safe way to be independent, to transfer yourself from a bed to a wheelchair. And if you would like to try a demo, please either go to our website at www.McIlwainMobility.com, and you can either schedule a time to come see us through our calendar app online, or you can give us a call and set up an appointment to come into our showroom, and we'd more than love to show you how that this can increase your independence and your safety for you and your loved ones. McIlwain Mobility Solutions, your one-stop shop for independence and mobility for life.